What if you are standing on the curb and the car zooms past you at 100 miles per hour? Suddenly, that weird thought pops up into your head. What if you actually listened to that impulse and jumped right in front of the car? Actually, let's try it easier way. Instead of jumping, getting smashed to pieces, and potentially ending it all, how about we simulate the whole scenario in our brain? You just run a full-scale crash test in your head without single scratch in your body. You tested the outcome, the damage, and decided, let's stay on the sidewalk. And this is the mental simulation. We are the only species that can die 1,000 times, but in our imagination, just so we can live a long life in reality. And scientists know this logic perfectly. Why run an incredibly expensive experiment when you can run a simulation that costs nothing and risk no lives? Why let a rocky pilot fly a Boeing jet worth hundreds of millions when you can just download $150 Microsoft Simulator and let them train on it until they get it right? Take FIFA for example. It's a fun game, but its realism has reached a point where professional clubs use it to scout players. In an interview, Alex Iwobi from Arsenal said that when he is about to face a new team, he plays against them on FIFA first just to understand their level and movement. But even FIFA is still distant. We're still looking at the screen. We want to be deeper inside the experience. What is the weirdest simulating your brain did for you? Subscribe and tell us in the comment. What would happen if a child was born and immediately placed in the VR world? What happens after a few years when we finally take the VR off and the kid cannot tell the difference between the reality and augmented reality? What then? Can we do that? Actually, doing that isn't just hard, it's impossible. But why? If we can simulate the planes, matches, and surgeries, why can't we simulate the entire universe? Okay, let me tell you why the most scientists say it's impossible. To build a computer that simulates every single atom in the universe, representing every atom with 1 bit, you would need a computer the size of another universe. Imagine our universe, which spans 93 billion light years. You would need a twin right next to it just to run the program. So, is there no hope? Of course there is. Nick Bostrom, philosopher from Oxford, says simulating the universe is nearly impossible, but simulating your brain is much easier. Theoretically, we can simulate the physiological process inside your mind and let it build its own world. It dreams, grows, gets married. It does everything you do. It has a full life exactly like yours, but it can never prove it's a simulation. Think about it. Simulating life isn't that far-fetched. Your brain does it every single night while you sleep. It writes scenarios and you, like a fool, interact with them as they are real. Just like the story of Zhuangzi, who dreamed he was a butterfly every night. Flying around, feels every feeling as a butterfly, that when he woke up, he was lost. He asked, am I a man dreaming I'm a butterfly, or am I a butterfly dreaming I am a man? But how would we actually do this? A brain is made of biological cells, while a computer is made of electronic parts. It doesn't seem logical. This is where we enter the matrix. There is a theory called the computational theory of mind. It assumes the brain is just an information processor, just like a computer. The theory says that we can mimic the brain. Instead of a neuron, we use a capacitor, and they will function the same way. So, we get a brain in form of computer uploaded to a hard drive. Well, to be honest, it won't fit on a hard drive. We would need something size of planet. But don't worry, there is plenty of room in the universe for a new planet. Stay optimistic. But if we actually did this, the idea is terrifying. It stabs in the one thing we hold dear, the reality. Nick Bostrom says one of 3 possibilities must be true. Humanity lacks the ability, or we will go extinct before we reach that stage. Second, humanity has the ability, but no intention of doing it. We don't want to hurt the computer feelings by giving it pain and suffering. The third, humanity has the ability and the intention to run a simulation. If the third one is true, then according to Bostrom, the odds are that we, ourselves, are simulation. The probability isn't in your favor to be the original version, because we could run thousands of simulations, but there is only one pace reality. How do we know we are real? If we are inside the computer, why aren't there a glitch in the matrix? Like on your way to work, the train suddenly stops to download, or the sky fails to render properly. The problem is, if that happened, you might not even remember it. If you are a simulation, the simulator could simply delete that moment from your memory. In the end, we can't prove that we are in simulation, and we can't deny it. We are inside the game, and we don't know what's hidden outside. But here is what's real. Humans are the only species that can imagine a world that doesn't exist, and then build it. Thank you for watching. If you like this episode, put a like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.